Well, welcome into another Cat Country KATcast. Kevin Hilly, Aaron Hart, Jordan J. Interesting question today. We're going to assume that you have passed away, you've bought the farm, you've gone on to your eternal reward, but wait, you come back, except not as a person. You're going to be any animal on Earth. But here's the added difficulty to this. You're going to maintain your thought processes. You're going to be you. You're able to think and everything just the same way, except you're going to be whatever animal you choose.
So you're reincarnated as an animal, but you're still you. You're just an animal.
Right.
Okay.
Except, again, that you're conscious of it and you can think and everything. So you can reason. And it's not like, just some... You're not like a cow with a cow brain or whatever, but you're a cow.
So you're an animal that's had its already prior experiences, but you remember your prior experiences.
I'd say you remember everything too. Yeah.
I'm on track.
So what animal do you become?
So what you're saying is I could be a cow in the pasture just chewing and being like, man, remember that time Hilly and I won an NBA? Remember that time Hilly and I won a Marconi? I just be doing stuff like that.
Would I be the other cow?
I don't know, man.
That was good.
That was a good
That
day.
was really good.
Real good day.
Hey, look, there's Jordan, the goat over there.
The goat.
That's right.
The screaming goat.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Jordan would be like, hey, remember when we used to do the KATcast?
But it does bring up the question. What would what would be the most, I don't know what the word is, comfortable animal to be? Like, I mean, yeah, you could be somebody's dog, I guess. You're catered to. And
I think I would choose.
Hopefully you're catered to.
Right, you don't know.
Yeah.
There's a lot
that's just it.
Yeah.
I would choose something. I would choose either something in the ocean or something that couldn't get like destroyed by a shark. Number one, I'd be like a whale. I want to be like the biggest thing that doesn't get messed with. Okay, so that way it's just like I'm just swimming, baby. That's all I do. You know,
look out for the harpoons.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
I'll go deep enough. No, I'd do something like that. I'd be like a giant whale or something in the ocean, or and also just because I really love wolves, I'd probably do that too. I'd like to be. I'd feel like I would if I could choose what animal I could become after death. I would probably choose a wolf first, and then I'd go to like a whale.
Interesting you say wolf, because if you did that, again, you have all of your human reasoning with you.
Yeah.
You know how wolves operate, so you know you need to become the alpha.
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean you're necessarily physically able to, but you know how to manipulate the situation maybe so that you do become the alpha.
And I feel like, too, again, and it's a wild wolf's different than a dog, but like that, I feel like they know.
A canine.
Yeah, like a canine knows, like they have like this deep connection anyway with people. So like, I feel like that would be the next best thing. If I couldn't be a person, I'd love to be a dog because I feel like I'd still you know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like that's the next best thing, at least here on Earth.
You got any thoughts there?
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm still mulling this one over.
At first I thought, okay, maybe like a gorilla.
Something like that, yeah.
Or a chimpanzee or something like that. Because, again, you have all the use of your fingers and hands.
Kevin loves flinging poo.
See, I would have an excuse to fling poo. Nobody's going to think ill of me for that. I hadn't even thought of that, Aaron, but thank you.
And I love kibble. So. No. I'm joking.
Oh,
the wolf,
for the dog.
right?
Yeah. The only problem with that is I may end up in a zoo. Although, again, not necessarily the worst situation because I'm not facing predators at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. I like playing, and I would have the physical ability to swing and everything like that. But here's the problem. Again, because I have my human mentality, I know what I'm missing. And I know that I want the freedom of being outside, but I'm never, even if I get out, somebody's going to try to return me where I was.
I see.
So, I don't know.
But that's if you were in a zoo. What if you were in the wild?
Ooh, that's dangerous.
And you get to swing on vines, baby.
Yeah, but then I'm also going to get beat up by a bigger gorilla than me, and they're not going to reason with me. They don't care how smart I am. They're not going to, and I'm not, you know me, I'm not
That's just it. I mean, wouldn't you be...
But they got thumbs. You can open the bananas. You can eat the food.
Make myself useful.
I feel like they could eat the exact same foods we can eat, right?
I think they can.
So what would you miss out on, really, except talking? They know sign language. You can even learn sign language.
Okay, so here's the deal. If you're a gorilla, but you've got your own, thoughts and all that, and nothing is missing there.
Right.
Wouldn't you always be terrified? Because for one reason, if they decided this guy's not right, they don't like you or whatever, gorillas are ruthless, dude.
Well, that was my thinking. You're putting it in a better way than I was thinking. Was, in other words, gorillas, I think, in the wild are very territorial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm a lover, not a fighter. Okay, so my life would probably end pretty quickly because I would just get pounded by some big baboon gorilla, whatever.
And here comes old free thinking, poo flinging Hilly, and he wouldn't be lasting that long in the woods now.
So maybe I have to rethink. Maybe gorilla's not the best, but I'll.
But listen, you'd be a gorilla with human experience, though. So you would, you know what I mean? So you could be like, well, listen, I know how gorillas
it would be like
work and
Planet of the Apes.
Yeah,
it would be like Planet of the Apes. That's all. You think about those gorillas, those monkeys.
Mm-hmm.
They are just like people, except they're gorillas. They're monkeys. They're chimpanzees.
I was going to say they dress better.
Take your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape.
So, okay. For me, I'm almost thinking, okay, a sloth. Hear me out.
Gosh, okay.
You get to chill. And
That's right.
lounge,
You get to, anybody who knows me knows I worry about things that are 100% out of my control.
It's true. The truth.
I also I just want everybody to be happy. I just want everyone to get along. La, la, la. If I'm a sloth that's all on my own time, everything is in slow
You move as slow as you want.
People love you. That's important. You just get to chill out and do your own thing. And people are just going to be adoring you.
Your own thing pretty much consists of eating bugs or whatever. And
and snoozing. And walking real slow.
I picture myself as a wolf, and I've got some kind of prey, and I'm eating this raw prey. As my human brain, as I'm consuming raw meat, I would be like, I miss steak. I will be eating this. You know what I mean? I'll be like,
could your wolf self figure out how
to make steak,
to cook?
I know how.
You don't have opposable
but I don't
thumbs.
how. But how could I? Right? Exactly.
Yeah, it's true though. You would know how.
But I would know
you would have
how.
the concept of cooking and fire and all that.
I would
stuff.
just embrace the old canine instinct of time to beg.
You would end up being like a wolf prodigy to the other wolves.
Crazy. Yeah.
They'd be like, oh, Jordan Wolf. He has all these powers. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Okay, Jordan came up with 2. You got a second one, Hilly?
Yeah, but before I do, I have a question about the sloth. Would you prefer in the wild or in the zoo?
You know what? They look like they're having a great time at the zoo. I'm just throwing that out there.
And you're fed.
Yeah, you don't have to hunt or anything. You're safe. You're not going to be hunted. I mean, a lot of times those. I've watched the videos. It looks like those sloths are living better than I am. I mean, they're well taken care of. So,
my other one might be a parrot, because again, you're pretty much taken care of for the most part. You usually,
what if you're in the wild? What if you're in the rainforest?
Okay, well, I'm saying in the wild. I'm in the wild. I don't think parrots attack each other, do they?
I don't think so.
I'm sure they have natural predators.
I don't think they're like beta fish.
And you can talk, and that's the best part. What if and then you can recall?
My gosh! Yes,
they can talk, and if you retain all your information,
and I would
you could just be a talking bird.
I have talking ability, and I'd be like, "Hey, it's me, Kevin. I'm me inside." And my owners would be like, "Oh, he's a great parrot. I'm not a parrot."
I used to be a real person.
I'm a real boy.
And then one day,
I take back. That would be the coolest
No,
animal
that's
to be.
mine. I get the parrot.
No, and then one day there'd be a knock on my door. They'd be like, "Excuse me, ma'am. Did this used to be your bird?" Because he just keeps chattering about his days in radio. And Aaron Hart, let me hear that's you. I'd be like, "Oh, cool," and I'd know what's going on.
Now wait a minute. They're coming to you as the
As
sloth?
the parrot.
No, as the parrot.
No.
Oh, I'm the parrot.
You're the parrot, and they're coming to me. They're like, "Hey, lady, this guy keeps saying Aaron Hart and radio."
Gotcha.
And
you were not
is
an
it
animal
yours?
yet.
And I'll be
Okay,
like,
got it. Yes.
Yes, he does belong. Bring him on in. Bring his cage on.
I can see it now. I can just see this excited Kevin Parrott being like, "Oh my gosh, you won't believe it! You won't believe it! There's so much more afterwards."
This is the only parrot we've ever seen that has a daily diet of McDonald's.
Yeah.
We've never seen that before, you know?
You just see the parrot holding a phone, scanning in his McDonald's report.
I have my points right here.
Honey, the bird's out of food again. Just give him another brick of ramen.
That's right. No, see, now, a cage-kept parrot, I mean,
Just think of all the cool stuff I could teach you.
if they let you out of the cage from time to time and you fly, although there are people who are afraid of parrots. I've told you the story. My mom was scared to death of my cousin's parrot, Peppy. He used to have this bird called Peppy.
Of course he did.
Every once in a while, he's a little parrot. He was one of the little guys, you know.
Yeah.
But he was a cute, you know. But so he didn't talk. But
Was
he
he a
just sort of-
dolphin or was
no,
he
he's
a
like one of the chirpy kind of birds. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but every once in a while they let him out of the cage. My mom was like, "Ah!" She'd hide in the closet or in one of the rooms before Peppy got
Wow, she
put
had an
back.
aversion to Peppy.
She didn't like birds. I mean, she never liked birds. Yeah. So I wouldn't want my mom to be afraid of me, but you know that'd be another story.
Yeah.
So,
Well, maybe your mom could be a bird too. She just wouldn't know it.
great.
I don't know.
The family of birds, the hilly birds.
That's right.
I'll be the first wolf to be dragging a carcass of an animal onto a campfire. Be like, "What are you doing? Cooking it."
Sit back and watch and learn. I'm bringing my human experience with
Trust me, all right? You're going to love this.
You know what? Here's the thing, too. If as a bird, not so much as a wolf, but as a bird, you could get into, if you're loose in the wild, you could get into all kinds of places that people can't. I mean, I could fly.
That's true.
I could somehow maybe get into the White House and just sit there and watch things. You know?
Oh, I thought you meant like bird boxes and stuff. And I'm like, well, who'd want to get in there?
No. I mean, I could get into shows.
That's true.
You know, just sit there like concerts. Hey, I saw there was a parrot at the Billy Joel concert. Did you see that? It's like
you're just up like near near like all the wiring and everything.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
just sitting up there.
sitting
You're
there
like,
watching
"Oh,
it,
this is the best seat in the house."
I'm
man."
telling you, nobody's gonna try to chase you out or anything.
Well, that's
Ball
just
games.
It depends. It depends. We've had a bird in here before, you know, and while we were able to capture him and release him, I bet not everybody's so kind. What if somebody comes after you with like a broom or something? Like they're whacking at you.
Well, we've had a bat in here too, a couple of times.
Well, yeah, but that was removed safely as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's true. But I think generally, if you're not making a scene of yourself, you're just sitting there kind of non.
How would you not make a
Non-conspicuous.
scene of yourself? You're Kevin. That is like your middle name is make a scene.
Kevin, make a scene of himself, Ellie. We're asking you today if you had died and then you came back as anything other than a person, what would it be? What animal? What creature? What bird? Whatever. I mean, what if you make it? I don't know, fictional, like a unicorn or something. I don't know,
like that,
or a horse. Anybody like to be a horse? I don't know.
I'd be a griffin at that point.
A griffin? A Peter Griffin?
Some mythological beast.
Actually, I kind of thought with my height, I would be a giraffe.
Ooh.
I would like to be a giraffe.
Giraffes are awesome. Also, by the way, how do giraffes exist and unicorns don't?
That's true.
Because like a giraffe is like, what is it? It's like a moose hybrid cheetah? Like, what is it?
Do you guys ever watch Ghosts?
Oh, yeah. I've seen it.
The revolutionary guy, Higginbottom, or what's his name? When they were talking about dinosaurs once, and he goes, monsters do exist! Like, you know, I knew it!
I'm just saying, if you go back in time, like, explain, like, you're someone that's never seen animals before, and
Right.
you're describing a giraffe and you're describing a unicorn. Which one sounds more realistic? You're like, a horse with a horn coming
Right.
out of its head.
As
Or
opposed
this
to
weird hybrid, you're like,
this
I would think the
long
horse
neck.
with the horn on the head would be the one that was actually a thing.
That's
you know?
true,
I don't
yeah.
know. With giraffes, I mean, I would like to be able to see above everybody
Yeah,
else, you know?
It's true.
Yeah.
You got the best seat in the house, no matter where you are.
I would like a warmer climate.
Yeah.
You know, they're in Africa, so works right there. And they can run fairly quick.
They
Giraffes
run
are pretty fast.
They
So-
run very fast. Yeah.
So I wouldn't mind that.
But you're also the object of hunters, just so you know.
well, if she's in the zoo, though, like
And not in the zoo,
the
yeah.
zoo that I was at, you got to feed giraffes.
The zoo I was at.
The zoo I was at, man, we were feeding giraffes lettuce.
Well, that's it. I love how
Oh,
like
I thought you were talking about when you were if you were a wolf. I'm like, oh, cool. We're gonna like room next to each other or something.
They have to keep me out.
Go ahead, Jordan. What's up, buddy?
I'm gonna be proud and be like, you just wait until I get out this cage.
I see you, Aaron Hart. I see you. No, I do like it how like in the safaris where the giraffe, like the parks.
Yeah.
The giraffe will like if there's the car and the giraffe will stick its head right down next to it and you can feed it something and it goes.
There's a place in Africa, and I've actually looked into it, but it's like crazy expensive, and I don't think I could even afford a night. But it's called Giraffe Manor. So, look it up on Instagram or, just online. Basically, you stay at this beautiful resort, and there are giraffe that roam the grounds.
Oh, that's so cool.
Even to the point
man.
where in the dining room, they have these big doors or the windows, and they open each day, and giraffes can just put their heads on in, and they have bowls of food for them on each table.
Can you pet them at all?
I mean, I think you can, but
Do
like you
giraffes
can
bite?
feed them and all this
They're pretty
other
nice,
stuff.
actually.
And I'm like, I told the husband, I was like, oh my gosh, I want to go
Oh
there.
my god!
And it was something crazy like $2,500 for a night or something. So of course that went right out.
I thought
by
of
the
another
wayside.
animal for Aaron though.
Oh, for me?
Would you like to be a hippo like your friend Fiona?
Well, I'm built like one, so let's go
Stop
for it.
You are not.
I will say it's so cool. Like the last time that me and my family went to a zoo.
That's the only time in my life, by the way, I'm ever going to say to a woman, "Would you like to be a hippo?"
Okay, but hang on. You know what? This wouldn't be bad because super cute. Yeah,
Yes.
hippos are deadly and dangerous.
Yeah,
True. Nobody's
Yes.
going to mess with you.
And, fairly quick.
Yes.
People underestimate
Oh my
just how
gosh,
fast they
hippos
are.
run
Yeah.
insanely
That's
fast.
true.
Their little legs really get going.
They are the most dangerous, one of the most dangerous animals in the world.
Yeah. Love, fruits and veggies and
Yeah.
all that.
Yeah.
Bring it on. That'd be great.
But no, the last time that we were at the zoo, we got this. They had the hippo kind of in the enclosure, but
Yeah.
you could see it like right next
Yeah.
to it, right? So
Yeah.
like the hippo like stuck its head out,
Yeah.
and like you see hippos massive, but
Right.
like when you're actually next to one, you don't realize how big they really
Yeah.
are. They are huge. They open their mouth, and you're like, that will swallow me whole.
It
That
is-
is insane.
To watch them crush a
The-
whole watermelon.
I know.
Oh yeah.
But,
I mean, it's amazing.
It is true. Baby hippos are among the cutest things in the world
Oh my
you're
gosh,
ever
they're
going to
adorable.
see. You
Yes.
just want to go, I get
Yeah.
blah, and then have
would be
it
good.
crush your head.
Yeah, on that way, like baby tigers too. Though I think those are super. Like those are
Kittens,
kittens.
they're
man.
kittens, yeah.
They're so cute. You're like, you're gonna grow up to be a beast.
A man-eater.
I've heard it said that, how, people have cats, and we've had cats in our life. You ever had a cat?
Yeah. My
Okay,
grandma's.
and I know, Aaron,
Yeah.
you have. I've heard it said that, yes, we pet them and they're domesticated and everything, but if your cat was actually like your
Like a tiger
domesticated,
size.
yeah, it would try to kill you.
I
It
could
would.
see that.
Well,
I could
for the
see
most part. I mean, there might be exceptions, but and it might do it by accident. I don't know. But cats are, because they're that size, you're okay with them.
So I used to joke I had a cat, and she would always lay on my chest as I was sleeping, and I'd always wake up because she'd put a paw on my mouth. So I don't know if I was snoring or what was going on.
Yo, mom!
But I just remember I'd always wake up and be like, you tried to smother me, didn't you?
See? Our cats want to kill us, I'm telling you.
They have a hidden agenda. They're like, yes, keep me around.
My daughter and grandsons and all just moved out of the house back to their own place again, and they took their cat with them, Catnap. And I stopped by the other day to help them with some moving stuff and everything. And there in the house was Catnap, and I hadn't seen him for like a week or whatever. And I go to him. I sit on the steps, and he comes up to me and goes, and he's all purring around me. I go, how you doing, Catnap? I pet him and everything. He's like, but cats have their own agenda. He's like,
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
okay, I'm done with you. And he walked away. I was like, hey, I'm still petting you. He's like, hey,
No,
done.
no.
Petting time's done, pal.
That's right.
I'm over it already.
That's right.
So, well, this has been fun today, you guys.
Yeah, it has.
Share a thought with us. If play along. If you had to come back as an animal of some kind, you can't be a person. You can be an animal, but you have your own. Again, you have your own human consciousness with you.
Sorry, I'm laughing because in an alternate universe, there's a sloth, a parrot, and a wolf having a podcast right now.
That's right.
There they are. There they are. Look, that's it right there.
Oh, man.
Share a thought with us. You can email us if you'd like.
That's right. catcountry@mailzimmer.com. Let us know what you think, or you can always leave a comment right below here on this podcast.
And make sure you subscribe wherever you're seeing this from. Make sure you subscribe. And that wraps up this edition of the Cat Country KATcast.